just today's session is just me actually giving an analysis of the Euro US dollar and the USD JPY currency pair. Then we probably might be having other meetings later on today, depending on my schedule. If I get quality time to actually have another session with you guys. But yeah, so yesterday I had given a signal on the US dollar JP, Euro USD. So let me just share my screen so that you guys can see what was happening yesterday. Okay, so did you guys take the trade? Did you take the? Did you manage to take the signal that I sent yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, so this is my chart, and just also before I just dive deep into this thing. Whenever I trade, I'm just going to be giving you some information that is very, very important. Remember, forex trading is obviously, in case you probably need us to just recap as to what forex trading is. Forex trading is nothing more than just buying currency at a lower price and selling it at a higher price. That's what forex trading is. There are people about trading is a scam. Trading is just gambling. It's a game, but it's for anyone to say that they don't have much information as to what forex trading is, because if one is to move from one country to the next, let's say I'm moving from South Africa going to the US, I'm gonna need some kind of capital to spend that side. And let's say and we all know, obviously, you can't spend the South African rands in America. I hope we all know that, right?
Yes.
Yes, you can't go with 10 rands or 100 rands or 1,000 rands and in any of the stores in US and say, I want to buy here, I want to buy. It doesn't work that way. They're going to look at you and what is that? So what we normally do is you have to exchange the money you have such that you can get the money that is being used in the US, so which is the United States dollar. So that changing, so when you're changing that amount, you might find that the dollar is at 14 rand. $1 is equivalent to about 14 rand. So if I want to be spending $100, or rather I want to be spending 1,400 in the US, I'll go to them and say, okay, can you change this money to the to the United States dollars, moving it from the South African rands? And what they're going to be doing is they're going to say, okay, we can't do that. So okay, let me just get something to write. Yeah. So okay, so I'm sure you can see the writing, right?
Yes, clear.
Yeah. So you want to be spending 1,400. You want to be spending 1,400, and they tell you that $1 is equivalent to 14 rands. So $1 is equivalent to 14 rands. So the question is, how much of this do I need to have in order to, how much of this do I need to spend in order to get $100? Because I want to be spending $100. I want $100 to use in the US. So how many 14 rands will jump into to $100? So I normally get that is, I'm going to be like, all right, so we're going to say 14, right, times 100. 14 times 100. and that will give me 1,400, which is this amount here. So I'm gonna need 1,400 to purchase $100, because $1 is 14 rands. You get that, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need 1,400 to get myself $100. 1,400 to get myself $100. And that's just an exchange, you know. So in this case, I'm actually buying the dollars using my South African rands. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So let's say I
yes.
spend about two weeks in the US, and in the US I apparently meet Trevor Noah, because he's a South African guy, and you know, I just go to the Daily Show, you know, just to watch him crack jokes and, you know, give us the news as to what's going on around the world, because that's what he does. I meet up with him and he's like, "Oh, where do you come from?" I'm like, "From South Africa." He says, "Whereabouts in South Africa?" And I'm like, I was actually born in Joburg, and then I moved on to Durban, you know, and I visited Cape Town a bit of times. And I assume you also from Cape Town. It's like, yeah, I am from Cape Town, but now I live in the US because of work. You know what? Don't spend whatever you want to spend. I'm gonna buy you whatever you want to buy. So the $100 that I got when coming to US, I can save it, right? Sorry, I can save this $100. Why? Because Trevor Noah is going to be buying me everything. So I can just forget about this $100, you know. And then I finish my trip, I finish my my whatever I'm doing in the US, and now it's time for me to come back, right? It's time for me to come back to South Africa. Right, it's time for me to come back to South Africa. So what happens when I come back to South Africa? Just at the airport in the US, when I'm changing the money, remember what I'm doing, I'm just, when I had 1.4, I just changed. Are you with me? I just changed my money. I changed my capital. Yeah. So when I was in South Africa, coming to US, I changed my 14 rand to $1. My 14 rands to $1. So now they tell me, Holy Israel, you now want to go back to your country, but we have a problem here. And I'm like, what's the problem? They're like, $1 is now equivalent to, let's say, 17 rands. Are you still with me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now they're telling me that, remember when I was in South Africa going to the US, $1 was equivalent to 14 rands. So now they're telling me $1 is equivalent to 17 rands. And I'm like, so you mean I'm going to give you $1 for 17 rands, yet I spent I spent 14 rand for $1. And then they're like, yeah, that's absolutely truth. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. It's a no-brainer. So I spent 14 rands buying the dollar, and I'm now selling the dollar for 17 rands. So that's more or less like 3 rands profits.
Yes.
That's 3 rands profits. That is 3 rand profits. So that is 3 rands profit. So yeah, I'm gonna say again 17 multiply. I just want to do the math so you guys see it. Multiplied by 100, it should give you 1,700. You with me, right?
Yes, clear.
Yeah. So I spent 1,400 to get the US dollars, right? I now am spending, I'm now selling them. They're now spending 1,700 to get them back. So that means I made 300 rands worth of profits. So whenever, okay, so the question is, when our president, Land South Africa, goes to US, does he not do this thing as well?
Of course he do.
He does, right? Donald Trump,
Does, yes.
former president of the US, can he spend the dollars in South Africa? I know he's a big guy, he's a big shot, but can he spend, if you had a tuck shop and he comes to you and he's buying using the dollars, can you accept that cash?
No, I can't.
Right,
You must
unless if it's
exchange
$100, right? If you know what it is, but chances are you're not going to accept that amount, right?
Yeah.
And this is why the Forex market is a big market, because the Forex market, everyone is participating. When we in South Africa want to buy Toyota vehicles, we get those Toyota vehicles where? In Japan, because that is where the Toyota vehicles originate, in Japan. So that means in Japan, they will never accept our South African rands to purchase. So we first have to buy the Japanese yen before we buy the cars. You with me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so before you buy the cars, you need to buy the Japanese yen. Before you buy the car, you have to buy the Japanese yen first. If you want 100 vehicles, you'll have to buy, depending on whatever the amount the car is. If it's 100,000, you'll have to find out how much is 100,000 worth in the Japanese yen currency. And then you first buy the currency, then you buy the car. So that's what Forex trading is. It's not gambling. It's not a scam. It's just the exchange of different currencies at different times. You know, when Ramaphosa goes to America, he changes money. That is called Forex is actually the foreign exchange, the financial currency being changed by different parties or different countries. You know, so when we as Forex traders will be asking ourselves this question, someone who, back to the example, I spent 1,400 to get $100, and now I'm giving them back $100 in exchange to get 1,700, you know, which is 300 rands worth of profit. As a trader, we should not just be excited that we made some profits. As a trader, we should be asking ourselves these fundamental questions. What happened to price to a point that it fluctuated such that I was able to get myself 300 rands? What happened? What were the events? Is it something that happened in South Africa, or is it something that happened in the US? Is it something political, or is it something, you know, is it just, is it manipulated by, you know, big transactions happening in banks? What's the cause of this great movement? And then as a trader, our work is to actually predict, to look at past movements and predict what can be the outcome of the future movements. And we make our trades based on that.
Okay.
You get me, right?
Yes, exactly.
So if the dollar is at 14, then when at 14 rand against the one US dollar, then went to 17, that means the rand lost value and the dollar gained. So we're going to look at what exactly happened in that process. in that time of that change, so that we can easily predict what can happen when that same scenario plays off or happens again. Right. So when that same scenario happens again, we now can tell where price can go. And that is basically what we as Forex traders, that's what we do on a day-to-day basis. That's what we do on a day-to-day basis. But back to the Euro US dollar, the analysis. Any questions based on what I've shared, or is it clear to everyone? How many people are connected here? Okay, you're still the only one that's connected. All right, so it's still clear, right? Are you listening to this alone, or you have a friend with you, or someone close to you with?
As a brother is listening. Yeah.
Your brother. Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great. The financial markets needs to be heard by everyone. All right, so I have whenever I do my analysis, I first start by looking at my daily time frame, right? So the reason I do with my daily time frame, I want to see what has been happening in the market, you know, at a much bigger, broader perspective. So what we see is from the 6th of January in the Euro US dollar, we see that the you know, okay, so we're just going to say from the 15th of January, right here, because I think price, okay, let me try to get this thing further. Okay, this thing is sometimes giving me a tough time. All right, so okay, we'll start from here. On the 24th of March, we started seeing price go to the upside on the Euro US dollar. So basically here it means that the dollar has been losing value. The dollar has been weakening, as some will say, against the euro. And it has been a very great, as we can see, price went up. We had a small pullback. We went back up. We retraced again, went back up, retraced, went back up. Then we had this big retracement. Then we picked up again, going up. Yeah, so we picked up again. We had a big retracement here. Then we went back up. We retraced again, went, you know, slightly up, retraced. So this could have been more or less like it's a change of direction. But since we still have this, you know, we still have this more or less like some kind of support. So we went back up, and now we were more or less in a bit of a sideways movement on the daily time frame. Let me try to zoom that. Yeah, so if you look at this, we were in a bit of in a sideways movement right here. So yesterday I used the 4-hour time frame to actually enter some trades. As you can see, I have the Fibonacci retracement, which I'll explain to you some other time. I probably will have a video on that when I do get a chance. I had taken a trade yesterday. The trade signal that I sent yesterday, it was a buy Euro US dollar, and we were basically trading this sideways movement. We have this as our resistance right here. Okay, let me just get my marker. All right, yeah. Sorry. Okay, yeah, so we have right here our resistance, right? And we have right here our support. So basically, in case you probably don't know, in a house, you have something like this, right? this will be your house, this will be the windows and stuff like this, then this will be the roof, the ceiling. So if you throw anything right here, what are the chances of that thing actually going beyond?
Less.
They are less because there's a roof, right? There's a
Yes,
ceiling. You throw anything up there, it's gonna jump back down, right? And then if it
hold down.
reaches the floor, does it break the floor?
No, stay
So
down.
if you throw a soccer ball up, you push it hard, it's gonna bounce from there. Then when it comes down, it's gonna also bounce. It's
Back
also
again.
gonna bounce and then go back up, right? Then we're gonna be having that same effect. So that's what we see here. This is the roof. Then this is the floor. So price, the soccer ball went up, then hit that level, came down, hit that level, went back up, hit that level, came down. So that's how we trade the resistance and support level.
It's clear, we're getting.
It's clear, right? So whenever you think of the word resistance, you have to think of the word ceiling or roof. Whenever you think of support, think of floor. It makes your trading way more easier, right? Yeah, so right here, taking a trade. So if you look at this, let's try to zoom in again. Yeah, if you look at here, I took the trade, I entered a bit somewhere here on my account. Now obviously this is a different software. I normally use MetaTrade 5. This is not MetaTrade 5. This is a trading view software. It has very beautiful features and I'm just getting myself familiar with it. So I'm trying to use it to take most of my trades. Currently doing paper trading here. So paper trading on this is more or less like your demo account. So I'm just trying to get familiar with the software. As you can see, the charting is much more beautiful than MetaTrade 4 or 5 on here, right? So yeah, I entered the trade here and then I was on profit somewhere here. And then I gave you guys an indication, the group chats, that we all on profit, yeah, we were all on profit. So at this very moment, I have no interest trading the euro US dollar until we either break, if we go down back to this level here, our support, then I might probably wait for a bit of reversal and back to the upside, that is, and then re-enter the buy trade. And if I have about 2 candles on my 4-hour time frame today, if I have this candle close at a red, and then I have the following candle close at a red, then maybe I can take a sell position, but I won't be going aggressive on the trade because we're currently in an uptrend movement. So I might be trading just a slight pullback, looking at this sideways movement. So if I take the trade, maybe right here can be my take profit, and I can have my stop loss not too tight. I want to give price enough room to breathe. So on the euro US dollar, I have no interest in taking any trade. I just have to wait for different confirmations. Are we going to be breaking this sideways movement and going and seeing probably a much swing position, whereas we're going to be seeing price break through this level and continue going up as it has been going up. That's the euro gaining value, gaining strength against the dollar. So that's the euro US dollar analysis. At least for now, probably later on today, looking at the 4-hour time frame, I might see small opportunities. But in terms of long term, I have no interest in looking at the euro US dollar. I'm just waiting for my confirmations. Then maybe, and just maybe, I might see good entries. Yes, so let's move on to the USD/JPY. Yeah, so the USD/JPY is is pretty much interesting, right? The USD/JPY is an interesting asset class as far as I'm concerned, because if you look at the all right, yeah. So if you look at the price movement, obviously I have a trade that is on, and on the group chat you guys saw me give a signal. Yeah. So on the 4-hour time, on the daily time frame rather, we currently at a massive uptrend, but we just broke our resistance level here, and we just below that. And I'm looking at price hitting this level once again. Let me try to make this thing wide. I really have
That's
to.
your take profit.
Sorry.
The take profit that you.
Yes, that's the take profit. I'm looking for price to hit this level once again. Let me get this. Yeah, I'm looking for price to hit this level. Yeah, which is going to be my take profit, obviously, as you can see right here. This is going to be my take profit. Then I have my stop loss about 56 pips, I believe. 56 pips. Now, the reason I have it there, it's just to give price enough space so that if it goes against me, you know, I can have enough space. I won't be kicked out soon. I have enough space to breathe, and probably at least enough space to breathe until price actually goes down. But obviously, if it hits my stop loss, then that's it. But the odds of price hitting the stop loss now are a bit unfavorable to the market. So chances of it's not even a 50-50, it's now a 70-30. So the odds are supporting me because the stop loss is a bit distanced, you know. So we're talking about 500 points. Price has to go about 500 points against me, you know, in order to stop me out. But you know, so that is, chances of that happening are not extreme. So, you know, but I also have my risk management that is done very well. I've got my risk management that is done very well. So I'm looking for price to revisit this, and probably once we hit this, there's no telling as to how far we can go to the upside. There's no telling as to how far we can go to the upside. So once we hit this level and we see a bit of a pullback, if we see some candles going up, probably 2 candles, maybe an engulfed candlestick, we'll talk about those candlesticks some other time. If I see a massive candlestick to the upside, then I will be going long on this trade. I'll actually be buying the USD/JPY. So that's basically my analysis based on the what do you call this? Yeah, that's my analysis on the USD, EURUSD, and the USD/JPY. So on the EURUSD, I'm not seeing great opportunities. So I may not send a signal today on the EURUSD until I see those confirmations, and probably at the end of this 4-hour time frame, 4-hour candlestick, when it closes on a red, when it closes at a sell, then I'll look into the next candle, and I'll also have to wait for that candle to also close at a sell. Then maybe I can then enter the I can then enter my what do you call this? I can then enter a sell position on the EURUSD. So let me just show you that for the last time. All right, so okay. All right, it's taking time to load, but anyways, yeah, that's basically what I'll. Oh yeah, here we are. Okay, that's still the USD/JPY, right? All right, so on the euro US dollar, I'm actually waiting for a break right here at my resistance level, or if price actually goes down, I'm looking for at least 2 to 3 candlesticks that will be on a sell to give me that confirmation that we probably might be going down back to a support level, which is our floor. But I don't see that happening. In my take, I see price continuing to go up. I think the dollar is under pressure, and I think the euro is actually on top of the game, at least for now. Then on the US, so I'm not interested in entering any trade on the euro USD. Probably for the rest of the week, I may not give a signal on the euro US dollar. Then on the USD JPY, we actually have a trade that is on. We just have to wait for it to play out to our favor. We have a stop loss further away from current price movement, so it gives us a bit of positivity that we still have a big chance to actually come out profitable in this specific trade. And that's it for this morning. Gave you guys two things on my watch list. That's the euro US dollar, the USD JPY. Those are two. Those are my analysis for this week. On this Tuesday. This is my analysis for not only today but for the rest of the week. The USD JPY can actually reach our take profits probably later on this week. We also have on Thursday the unemployment claims, which can at least boost the US dollar a little bit. I don't have much confidence on that. And maybe it can also come vice versa. It can boost the US dollar, the Japanese yen, which not only boost, it's not actually going to boost the Japanese yen, but it might boost the US dollar to weaken or strengthen. So if the US dollar weakens, then obviously in this USD JPY trade, we're going to be seeing good profits. So this is more or less like a swing trade. This is not a daily trade. This is a trade that I'm willing to hold till at least Friday evening, let's say 6 p.m., 7 p.m. But every time I get profits, I will be locking in some profits in this trade. I will be at least taking half of the position, making some few dollars in that trade. So yeah, that's it for this morning. Probably I might have another Zoom call later on today. Probably, let's say, depending when I get time, obviously, depending when I get time. So, all right. So guys, thank you again. Thank you again. This video will be whatever is happening today, in case you have questions or there's something you didn't hear well, it is going to be sent on my YouTube channel. So please, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. This is actually recorded for quality purposes, and I'm going to be loading it as soon as I'm done closing this this meeting. We're going to be having it on my YouTube channel, so you guys can actually check that out. It's going to help your trading perspective. It's going to help the way you look at the price movement and things like that. And probably till we meet this week, we'll be sharing much more and giving you much more of my feel as to how I analyze and things like that. So yeah, thank you so much. We'll keep in touch.
Okay, bro. Thanks.
Bye.
Sure.
Thank you. Bye. And to everyone that's going to be watching this on YouTube, please do subscribe. Click the subscription button, as I will be adding more content every single time. And if you like the video, please click the like button. If you didn't like the video, also just comment below and tell us what is it that you didn't like about the video. I think that is going to help me to improve my videos. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, bro. Sure.
Make me a channel.